Hello friends, welcome back to Wawa AS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 24th of August 2021 and now we are going to discuss 5 current affair based MCQs. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. But first let us discuss the question that was asked yesterday. And yesterday's question was, which planet is called as evening star? And some of you have given the correct answers as well. So yesterday it was Aarti Thakur, Vinay Tiwari and Pankaj Verma who gave the correct answer. So evening star, generally Venus is known as evening star. Okay, so some more facts about Venus. If you see, Venus is the brightest planet in the solar system and is the third brightest object visible from the Earth after the Sun and the Moon. Okay, and Venus is sometimes called Earth's planet, or sorry, Earth's sister planet or Earth's twin. Earth's twin. Okay, so this is another fact which we need to remember. Venus is called Earth's twin. And also, if you see some more information about Venus, so Venus actually rotates around the Sun in clockwise direction. Generally, all the planets rotate in anti-clockwise direction, whereas Venus rotates around the Sun in clockwise direction. This is the information that we need to know. Okay, and also Venus is known as morning star or evening star, right? So this is all the information that we need to know from the examination point of view. Now let's move on. And guys, as you know, daily we upload 5 current affair based MCQs along with their solutions in the PDF format. So this PDF format contains some more extra information for your prelims examination. So make the best use of this initiative and you can download this PDF at free of cost from our Telegram channel, and the Telegram channel details I've given in the description. Okay, now let's look at the first question. The first question, consider the following pairs. So this is with regard to GI tag products and the states to which it belongs. First one, Madur Nuts, second one, Kola Chili, and third one, Tirur beetle leaf. And the states given are West Bengal, Goa and Maharashtra. So here we have to choose the ones which are correctly matched. So here if you see, the Madur Nuts actually they belong to West Bengal. The first one is right. And the second one, if you see, the Kola chilies, they belong to Goa. So the second one is also right. But third one, if you see, the Tirur beetle leaf belongs to Kerala and not Maharashtra. So the third one is wrong. So the correct answer here is A, 1 and 2. So why this was the news is recently 2 women from West Bengal, they have been given the National Handicraft Award in recognition of their outstanding skill in making Madur floor mats which are unique to West Bengal. And these Madur floor mats, they are intrinsic part of the Bengali lifestyle. The Madur mats are made of natural fibers and they are also known as the Madur Khati, and these mats are awarded the geographical indication tag by the Geographical Indication Registry in April 2018. Okay, so this is all information that we need to, and as I told already, the Tirur beetle leaf belongs to Kerala and the Kola chili belong to Goa. Okay, now let's look at the next question. The second question, consider the following statements with respect to Jan Shikshan Sansthan JSS. First one, under the Ministry of Education, the Jan Shiksha Sansthans are imparting vocational skill training programs at the doorstep of the beneficiaries with a minimum cost and infrastructure. Second one, it is implemented through the NGOs with 100% grant from the Government of India. Here we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct answer is B 2 only. Because the first one, if you see, it is given that it is under the Ministry of Education. This is the wrong statement, because the Jan Shikshan Sansthan, earlier it was under the Ministry of Education, but now it was transferred. It actually is transferred to the Ministry of Skill. Okay, so that's why the first one is wrong, whereas the second one is right, because this scheme is actually implemented by NGOs from the grants given by the Government of India. So recently the Jan Shiksha Sansthan has brought high-speed internet to some of the remotest tribal hamlets which are deep inside the Nilambur jungle in Kerala. That's why this was in news. And few tribal hamlets, they have got high-speed internet thanks to the long-distance Wi-Fi technology. This scheme, the Jan Shiksha Sansthan, formerly known as the Shramik Vidyapit, was unique creation of the Government of India and has been implemented through the NGOs in the country since 1967. After 2018, when the Ministry of Skill was created, this scheme was transferred from the Educational Ministry to the Skill Development Ministry. And the Jan Shiksha Sansthans, they are imparting vocational skill training programs at the doorstep of the beneficiaries with minimum cost and infrastructure. And the Jan Shiksha Sansthans are unique in the sense that they don't provide only vocational skills but also include an element of life skills which can help the beneficiary in day to day. Okay, so this actually is provided to the non-literate youth, non-literate and neo-literate youth, and also the persons with rudimentary level of education up to 8th and school dropouts up to 12th standard in the age group of 15 to 45 years, so that their benefit can be reached to the maximum. And the affairs of Jan Shiksha Sansthan are managed by the respective board of management, which are approved by the government of India. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. The third question: India's largest floating solar photovoltaic project of 25 megawatt has been commissioned in A. Mumbai, B. Visakhapatnam, C. Surat, and D. Kochi. So here the correct answer is B. Visakhapatnam. So Visakhapatnam is in Andhra Pradesh. So India's largest floating solar photovoltaic project of 25 megawatt has been commissioned on the reservoir of the Simhadri Thermal Power Station, which belongs to NTPC in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. This is also the first project to be set up under the flexibilization scheme, which is notified by the government of India in 2018. And once the project is operational, it is expected to minimize 46,000 tons of carbon dioxide annually, and it is believed to conserve about 1,364 million liters of water per annum, and has the potential to generate electricity for more than 1 lakh solar PV modules and it would not only help the lighting of about 7,000 households, but also ensure that 46,000 of carbon dioxide, 46,000 tons of carbon dioxide is not released into the atmosphere. So that means it is conserving the atmosphere as well by not letting the greenhouse gases go into the atmosphere. Okay, now let's look at the next question. The fourth question: the glyphosate and imidacloprid, sometimes mentioned in media, are associated to A. herbicide and insecticide, B. fertilizers, C. GM crop, and D. pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. Okay, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. So we have to choose the correct answer. And the glyphosate and imidacloprid, they basically are herbicide and insecticide. So A is the correct answer for this question. A is the correct answer. So recently, a study in molecular ecology examined the impact of herbicide and insecticide on bacterioplankton communities in freshwater. The bacterial communities provide useful ecosystem services like decomposition of organic matter and the cycling of nutrients, and these services can be impaired if microbiomes are severely affected by the excessive pesticide usage, and the bacterial cell density increased a bit slightly due to the glyphosate, and the carbon substrate utilized witnessed the maximum negligible effect with the introduction of both glyphosate and imidacloprid. So that's why this person is. Okay. Now let's look at the last question of the day. The fifth question: which of the following options are included under the definition of alternate investment fund? First one, venture capital fund. Second one, commodity fund. Third one, hedge fund. So we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 and 3 only, C 2 only, and D 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer is D 1, 2 and 3. So recently the Finance Ministry has launched the Ubarte Sitare Alternate Investment Fund to facilitate debt and equity funding to the export-oriented MSMEs. So that's why the alternate investment fund was in use. So we have to look carefully about what exactly is the alternate investment fund. So basically, these alternate investment funds are the funds. Okay, they are alternative to the traditional form of investment and are categorized into various investments. And those include venture capital fund, hedge fund, private equity fund, commodity fund, the debt fund, infrastructure fund, etc. And they are regulated by SEBI directly, and they have different type of regulations compared to that of normal funds. And it actually refers to any privately pooled investment. The alternate investment fund means it's privately pooled investment. Okay, and this will be directly invested in the companies, okay, by some other firms or by them directly. Okay, and they are generally invested in the form of a trust or a company or a body corporate or LLP, which is not presently covered by any regulation of SEBI, which is governing fund management, nor coming under the direct regulation of other sectoral regulators in India. So these are basically the alternate investment funds, right? So now let's look at the question of the day. Yeah, this is the question of the day. So which of the following liberties is not embodied in the preamble of the Constitution of India? A. Liberty of thought, B. Liberty of belief, C. Liberty of expression, and D. Economic liberty. So do give your answer in the comment box, and tomorrow we are going to discuss this question. Okay, yeah, tomorrow we are going to discuss this question, right? And guys, these are our initiatives. We have launched Vision PT 365 summary, Vision Prelims Test Series summary, Vision Monthly Magazine summary, and Vision Mains Test Series summary as well. These summaries will help in your preparation. We'll have to ease your preparation by ensuring that you cover maximum information in much lesser time, because what is important for prelims, covering the syllabus in a very broad way is very much important for the prelims, and this initiative of ours will definitely help you in that aspects. Okay, so that's it friends for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.